Let me turn to House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy, a great friend. Delighted to have you back. So, Mr. McCarthy, all I heard today from Biden is tax the rich don't pay taxes, level the playing field, blah, blah, blah. You know, this is what the left always says, Kevin McCarthy. And my thought here is, it's not only wrong, but it's boring. It's like they need new material. I mean, I think we can save America by killing the bill. What say you, particularly about Biden's speech today?
Well, I don't know what facts he was trying to state because there were no facts in it. I mean, think about, you were just talking about the retail sales. This economy is strong from the fact of the tax cut that we provided when you were serving and the deregulation. That's what we've been living on. What he wants to do is make America not competitive. You made a lot of good points there. And remember what the joint tax said. This will actually raise taxes on those making $30,000. He just broke his promise. But the one thing you haven't brought up yet, the global minimum tax, that actual rate is going to be 19. So all those business, all that repatriation of that money we brought back into America, he's going to make it easier for jobs to leave America and go to other countries. He gives China an advantage. Those are the individuals that are going to win in this process. And then he gives like a guaranteed income. 90% Americans are going to qualify for that child tax credit. And you make a very good point. They take away requirements. There's no job requirement. And then there's no requirement for a Social Security card for your child. So it's not going to be just Americans you're providing, because he's already had more than 1.2 million illegal encounters of people coming across the border. This is what's going to break America because it's a redistribution of wealth. They punish the creation of wealth and they move it over to change and transform America into that big government socialist country that they desire to be.
You know, I love Gingrich's phrase.
Yes.
Big government socialism versus free enterprise capitalism. By the way, he gives me credit for the free enterprise capitalism part. But I think Newt is right. And I think our campaign to save America and kill the bill is the right way to go. You were just up last few days, if I'm not mistaken, speaking to a bunch of folks in Pittsburgh. What did you hear from that gang?
Well, yeah, I wasn't at the Met Gala. I was in Pittsburgh at a small, it was a family business that's been striving for more than 35 years. Their struggle to find employees because of what government's been doing, encouraging people not to work. The price of steel that they fabricate there is up 3 times, and they're wondering whether they can sustain it. The inflation that is rising so quickly, and to add another $5 trillion, and people shouldn't talk about $3.5 trillion. It is $5 trillion they want to add. Think about where our GDP is, and think about where the debt will be. That interest rate just going up will break us with what the debt we have. We got to encourage people to actually produce more. I had small business after small business after small business tell me they've got 50 openings, but they can't find someone to get in. They're raising the wages. They're creating greater inflation, and it still won't do the trick.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems to me common sense says you're not going to spend $5 or $6 trillion more to solve any of this, and killing small business. You know, small business, in some sense, Kevin, get hurt the most in this Ways and Means bill. And that's the heartbeat of America, and that to me just doesn't make any sense. Let me ask you, sir, how do you read this now coming up for various floor votes and so forth? Will the infrastructure bill be linked to the reconciliation bill? How's that going to play out?
If it's not directly linked, it's already linked. Because think about it. They held the infrastructure bill to get reconciliation. So whether they do it in the same week or the day after, they're all mixed together. Otherwise, the progressive of the Democrats won't vote for it. And remember what's happening here right now. You talk about killing the bill, we can. We only need 4 Democrats to stand up and say no. No to another $5.5 trillion spending. 3 Democrats said no to a provision in energy and commerce yesterday, and 1 Democrat voted against it in Ways and Means. If those 4 actually kept to their convictions on the floor, it would die.
These are the drug price controls and the taxes on pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, instead of thanking them for the vaccine, we're punishing them. So that's an interesting point. That's right. So there's dissent already in the ranks. Let me ask you another point of conjecture. On the SALT, you know, the state and local tax deduction, it wasn't in the Ways and Means bill. There was no restoration. No. Some people are telling me it couldn't pass the floor of the House without restoring the full deduction. What do you think?
We'll see. There's some on both sides. You know what's going to happen. Those are just another reward for blue states, California and New York, to raise their rates and have other people subsidize that. That's not what you want. You want to live within your means. But what's happening is you've got so many fiefdoms within the Democratic Party that want to expand more, not let people keep more of what they earn. Remember what tax is. It's structure dictating behavior. So they go after industries from a woke perspective of what they dislike. So they punish anybody who creates energy to make America energy independent, because Biden's asking OPEC to produce more, and they redirect it. So what they do now, if you make $800,000, you get a benefit in this tax bill because they'll subsidize you when you buy a Tesla. They raise the rate. If your kid goes to Yale, they're going to give you a benefit for that. So when you're really thinking about the real Americans working hard, this bill actually punishes you, and it makes America less competitive. It moves jobs overseas. That's why when I listened to the president today, I couldn't believe what he was saying.
Yeah, it was pretty hard to take down. Can I, just before we lose you, sir, just a couple of other nicks and knacks.
Sure.
Reports today, another 200,000 illegal immigrants coming across the border in the month of August. About the same. We had a couple 100,000 in July. Has anything been done by this administration or its Homeland Security Department to stop this? Has anything been done at all?
No, what we're finding out, even internally, they knew the remain in Mexico was the right thing to do, but they weren't providing it. The President Biden, when he told us back this was just seasonal, he was correcting it. No, it's gotten worse month after month after month. We've never seen it this bad. And remember, it's not just illegal people coming across the border, and it's not just from Central America. We've caught publicly 2 people on the terrorist watch list from Yemen on different days. A 300% increase in fentanyl. That's hitting every single city. It doesn't matter if you're a border city or not. You are now having people in your community die from this increase in fentanyl coming across. And those cartels are making more money moving people across. And you know the one thing that they aren't requesting or mandating? Any of those people to be vaccinated.
Yeah, it's a tremendous health hazard. And last one, Mr. Leader, this business about General Milley, does he have to resign, in your view, or does he have to testify under oath? And what do you want to see? Seems to me he's got more explaining to do about conducting his own military policy. Both his defense secretary and commander-in-chief had no idea he was communicating with the Chinese general. What are you thinking there? How do we get this thing solved?
Well, the first thing I'd look at, we both know General Milley, but the one thing I would look at within this year, he was more concerned about wokeism in the military when he testified before. We just watched what happened with Afghanistan. And now we're having a book. Let's find if this is true. I think there's more than just reporting to Congress that has to happen. I think there has to be a change of guard.
Yeah. Kevin McCarthy, Republican leader in the House. Thank you for your time, sir. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Take care, Larry.
Save America. Kill the bill.